Like, I have never lost any project before. Like, where did it go? Hello, my name is Emily from Crochet Creations. Welcome to my YouTube channel and for watching this next podcast. I think we are on episode 16, but I do apologize. My brain is a little bit scattered right now because I lost something and spent like 15 minutes looking for it and did not find it, and my time is running low because Georgia is napping. Also, it's literally 100 degrees here, which is like not fun. We're just gonna all over the place, but we're just gonna run with it. We're just gonna enjoy spending some time together, talking about all sorts of projects and things that I've recently finished, things I've got on my needles and my hooks, new fun yarn goodies that I have to share. I will start off first and foremost with a little bit of business. My Spilling Waves shawl is ready for testers, so I will leave the link in the description down below, but I will be selecting testers tomorrow on Saturday the 25th, June 25th. So please, if you're interested in testing that crochet shawl pattern, then make sure to apply really quickly. And if you want to be notified anytime I have another testing call, make sure to sign up for my newsletter, and that link is also down below. So that's super exciting. We will talk more about that in a little bit. So I guess let's get into finished objects. I guess since we were already talking about it, let's just keep the train going. This is the Spilling Waves shawl. It's very hard to show on camera, so I'll make sure to include lots of pictures because I did a big photo shoot at the beach. It worked out great, and I love a lot of the pictures. My husband was able to help out with that, which is always really helpful with Georgia in tow. Just being able to have someone else work the camera just makes it way easier for me. And I'll show you on one end, there's kind of like this wedge shape, some short rows, and then on the other end, it's the like wide part of the wedges. Ta-da! So it's an asymmetrical, almost like a crescent-like shape, and it alternates between these closed cluster stitches and then this cluster mesh design that actually kind of reminds me of fishnet. I'm thinking of fishnet stockings, but I feel like that's the best way to say it. Like netting to catch fish, like the fishermen use. That's really cool. I used Dying Wishes Yarn Co. I'm doing a collaboration with Sarah. This is my first collaboration ever, which is such a privilege, and I'm really grateful to be able to use her yarn and to promote her brand as she is a new yarn dyer. So this is a 75-25 sock blend fingering weight yarn. I crocheted it, and it took 3 skeins of yarn. One of this, the color 2, and then of the color 1, I used 2 skeins. And I am, like I said, getting ready for testers, and so make sure to apply down below if you're interested. The test deadline will be in about 6 weeks. Since I'm collaborating with Sarah on this, if you want to use her yarn from her upcoming pre-order, Alfred, rude. He doesn't care. If you want to use Sarah's yarn from her upcoming pre-order for this shawl, then she'll have kits available 20% off for testers, and you'll be able to purchase the yarn and she'll get it ready and shipped out to you in like a week. So you'll still have about 4.5 to 5 weeks for the pattern test, which should be plenty of time, but if you need more time, I'm totally willing to extend. So definitely, if you're interested, apply. Please, please, please. I would love to have lots of really awesome testers to help me make this pattern great. I'm so excited. This is different than anything else I've done before. I love the drape of it. I love the drape of it. It's a really good size. Not like a schlanket or anything, but it's definitely big. I'll only wear it for a second because it is freaking hot. It's really good size. Got some airy bits. Good size shawl. Definitely not a scarf. Definitely a shawl. You can use this to keep your shoulders warm. Yeah. Super hard to show. So just look at pictures because that will show it off a little bit better. The colors I used, this like blue teal variegated color is called Sea Turtles, and then this teal is called Waves, this tonal. So pretty. Oh my gosh, I might have to order more of this yarn because it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. I love it. Super excited about this design, and I would love to have your help with it. So make sure to apply. I've said that like 1,000 times, but I'm just really excited about it. So I worked on that shawl a lot on my trip to Utah. I'll make sure to link the vlog. I'm doing 2 parts because there was just too much footage, and I wanted to at least get some content out to you guys. So I have the first part, which is prepping, packing, figuring out my projects, making plans for what I want to do on my trip, our actual traveling, and then the first few days of our trip are all in the first vlog, and that is already out, so I'll make sure to link that. I worked on the shawl. One project I did not work on while I was there was this pair of socks because I was so close to the end. So I made sure as soon as I got home that I just powered through and I finished them off. These are the Reverie socks by Allison Lutz of Field Wonderful. They're in Pantone magazine, issue 40. It's a spring issue. I used Daisy Stitch Co. yarn, a couple of mystery 50-gram skeins I got from her. It looks amazing in the camera, like those colors, so vibrant, and the speckles in this light pink base really coordinate well with the crazy variegated color. My favorite part of these socks are these baubles because in this yarn, it's like a rainbow. Red to blue, which is super, super cool. I was not expecting that, but I think it looks really awesome. I learned a garter stitch short row heel. It's okay. The gauge is just so much stretchier than like the rest of my sock, especially with the color work, that I'm not quite sure if I'm sold on it yet, but they fit me. They fit me. Sometimes color work, especially 1 by 1, it's kind of hard to make sure that I get the right tension, and so it was good to practice on this sock. It does fit me. A little bit tight in some areas, but it works. And I made this for the Summer Dreams Cal that Jessica of JS Threads and I are hosting. By the time you are watching this, it is still actually going on. We were gonna close it, and we just decided we're extending just through the month of June to the end of the month. So if you have any more entries, make sure to tag your photos, either work in progress or finished object photos of any project that you're working on from Pom Pom magazine issue 40, and you'll be entered to win our prize package. Jessica dyed a beautiful pastel dream of a skein of yarn with some, it's got a sparkle base too, so it's super beautiful. And I made some stitch markers, and we have some other like fun like sleep hygiene type things like sleep mask and some like lavender soap and things like that. So it's a really fun prize package, so definitely check that out. Make sure to get your entries in so you can be eligible to win a prize. So yeah, I finished that. I think I'm the only one that finished in time. And even that, it was a little bit of a close call because I like put them to the side. I knew I didn't have to work on them right away, so I didn't. So I like got through most of it, and then I was like, oh wait, I have to work on this. They are done. Of course I'm not wearing them because it's 100 degrees out right now, but hopefully it'll cool down a bit soon so that I can get back to wearing socks to bed, because I do enjoy doing that, especially hand knit socks. My husband enjoys when my feet are not cold. This is my last finished object. This was actually something I hadn't showed yet on the podcast. Really quick pattern test that I volunteered for DMK Crochet. This is the JJ's Sunny Brim hat. A little hard to show. I'll include pictures, but this hat is Georgia size. It's slightly big on her, so she'll be able to grow into it. I used Caron cotton cakes, the colorway Sunset Dreams. I used some leftover that I had from a recent sweater project I made for Georgia also, so I don't anticipate her wearing a sweater and a sun hat at the same time, but if she did, then she would match. This is a pattern test. It actually has some wire crocheted along the edge. I can't remember, like an 18 gauge wire or something, so not exactly what was called for in the pattern, but I used what I had and it works out pretty well. Unfortunately, it like bends really well, and so if I like scrunch this hat up to like stuff in a bag to take it to the beach, if I were to do that, I did that. Now it's like a little bit not quite as like circular, it's a little bit bumpier, so I'll have to play around with it a little bit, make it lay flat again. But it looks really nice, honestly. It's super stretchy. It's a fun texture. Great way to use up some yarn. It was a little bit of a stressful pattern test to do just because I left it to the last minute, and that's my own fault, but it's a well-written pattern, sized from like baby all the way up through adult, so lots of sizes, and she even added a size, I think, while we were in testing. So lots of sizes, really great as like a market make, was really why she wrote this pattern to make something pretty quick that's worth selling. So that's pretty cool. That's a cool idea. So yeah, there's the hat, and I finished it. It's nice to be done. I could see myself making one for myself. Yeah, if I had enough of the right yarn that I would like, I would wear something like this. I tried wearing hers. It fits on my head. It totally stretches easily onto my head, but the brim is like too short. It's not good proportionately on me. So I will have to make myself another one if I want one, because this is not going to work for me. Couple finished objects, which is awesome. So let's move on to whips, because I also have a lot to talk about there. So like I mentioned, we went to Utah on a trip, and so there were a few projects I took with me, and those projects got a lot of love. So I have a lot to share with you on some of those projects, but I have a few things that I've also worked on since I've been home. We'll talk about my trip later on, towards the end of the episode. Right now it is about knitting and crochet. So I want to talk about socks, because I am like losing my mind as far as socks go. I'm all about socks right now. And I lost a sock. I've never lost a project before. It is like mind-boggling. I am like, I don't know where it is. Like, I feel like I remember having it very recently. I have been working on some socks for another video. I'm reviewing the different stroll lines of yarn from Knit Picks or We Crochet as well. And I started making a sock for my brother out of just regular stroll. Black and strawberry were the colors. Ta-da, there they are. So I started making the sock. I actually finished it while we were in Utah. He got to try it on. It's great. Awesome. I didn't feel like working on the second sock. I felt like making 5 entire pairs of socks was a lot for one video, and so I figured I would just do one sock for each person, write down my notes, and then that kind of keeps things a little fresh, switching yarns, and then I can go back and do the second sock. So that was my thought, and now I can't find his sock, but I feel like I remember having it back here in California. Like, it came back home with us. I feel like I had it in my sock bag, and then I cleaned out my sock bag a few days ago. I have this yarn, and it was in my drawer with all my other stroll yarns, but no sock. I looked into my other drawers, I looked in my other project bags, I looked in my whip basket, I looked all over the floor, random crevices, under the couch. I can't find it. Hopefully I found it. Editing Emily, please tell everybody if I found it, because I just don't know. I guess worst case scenario is I make another sock, and so he'll get 3 socks, and one of them might just be lost forever. I at least wrote down all my numbers, which is really nice, so I don't have to think about it. I'll come back to his second sock in a long time, so hopefully I'll find his first sock before I start his second sock, so that his second sock doesn't become his new first sock. But it's driving me bonkers, because I never lose anything, and at this point I have not a clue where it could be, so wish me luck. That's stressing me out. But when I finished that one sock, I decided to cast on the stroll socks for me, because I was in the mood to make myself a pair of socks, something just vanilla but a little bit different. I am making my stripy socks, and I have 2 socks going, and I will explain why I decided to do this different than my brother's pair of socks. So I'm using Stroll Gradient in the color Prickly Pear, and I cut up all the colors. It's not actually a gradient. It's like 4 separate colors, and then in between both colors, it's not a stark color change, it's a little bit of a gradient. I cut up those colors, separated them out, and I made some stripy socks. I just did 5 row stripes. Look at all these horrible ends. Oh my goodness. I tried weaving them in as I go, but there's only so much you can do, especially in ribbing. It makes it kind of tricky. It's a future me problem, but I am maybe a third of the way on the foot, making some good progress. One sock, I decided to do a Fish Lips Kiss Heel. So in my summer sock camp plans and goals video, which I'll link up above and down below, I talk about different things that I want to make. Not only all these stroll socks for my upcoming stroll review video, but I wanted to learn how to do a Fish Lips Kiss Heel. And so I randomly just decided, like, while I was on my trip, I should just do it. Like, might as well just learn it. And so I did. And I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it. It was fun to do. It was simple to do. It required learning a few new techniques, but then I practiced those techniques over and over again, and so when I worked my second sock in the heel, I only had to look at the pattern for like a minute. Super simple. I definitely foresee me using this pattern again because I really liked how it felt on my foot, especially compared to other short rows that I've done, and I definitely need to do a better comparison for sure, but I did enjoy it, so I'll definitely do it again. That's my rousing endorsement for $1. It's totally worth getting that pattern. And then I started my second sock as well. This one's on magic loop because I only have one 9-inch circular. I feel like my gauge is different, which is kind of makes me nervous. On this one, my ends woven in are like a little bit looser, so I gotta like kind of shimmy things around a little bit. It's looking really good. I really love how this striping is looking, making me very happy. And like I said, I enjoyed doing the Fish Lips Kiss heel. So one reason that I decided to do both socks instead of just doing one for the video is because it's satisfying to finish a pair, right? I had a lot of fun doing the Fish Lips Kiss heel, and so I wanted to do it again. But first and foremost, I was running out of yarn. Just to show you, this is my other colors, are about this size. And this is the color I used for the heel. Big difference. I realized that I might lose yarn chicken with this color specifically, and I really, really wanted my socks to match. I would love if they work out just as I envision, but even more important than that is they have to match. So if I do one sock to my vision and the next sock can't work because I ran out of yarn, I can't. So what I decided to do was work the socks in tandem. So I like caught up, and now I'm working them in tandem. I worked a pink section on each, and now I'm doing the next 3 colors, and then I'll do one more section of pink on each, dwindle it down. I think I only have enough yarn for one more pink section on each, and then hopefully with the other 3 colors I'll get to the toe, and I hope it'll work. I hope it'll work perfectly. It might. Stay tuned for next podcast, and you'll see if my socks turn out with the color striping to work out perfectly, or if I have to fudge it a little near the toe. We shall see. But anyway, these are bringing me a lot of joy, and it's making me want to get some striping yarn because it's a lot of work to stripe it myself, and it just is, I'm really enjoying it. They're flying off the needles. I'm thinking about getting involved in the Desert Vista Dye Works like make-along that they have going on and trying out some of her yarn. So those socks are coming along really quickly. I have one more sock that I don't have a lot of progress, but I figured I would show you for accountability's sake. Now that my shawl is almost done, I'm finalizing the pattern to have to send to testers. I can put more mental energy into other patterns. This is my red Yucca Socks. It's the very start. Ta-da! Doesn't seem like a lot, but there's a twisted stitch detail, and I'm doing pearls in between, which honestly, I like doing twisted stitches with purling. Not like twisted pearls, but like doing a twisted knit stitch and then doing pearls because it just feels more natural than to do a regular knit stitch and then a purl stitch because of the way you angle your needle. Maybe that's just me. I think I'm just about ready to start the actual lace portion. You'll see I have this gold thread that I'm using as a lifeline. Hopefully I won't have to use it. I'm ready to start the lace section, and I'm excited and I'm nervous, and I hope it works out. I'll be endeavoring on that. It'll be a fairly simple repeat because the red Yucca Socks are pretty symmetrical, but I think I'm gonna make each of the different stems different like configurations. So like some of the stems I'll do the lace work right now, some of the stems I'll start the lace work in a couple rounds kind of thing. So you should be able to read your knitting in relation to what you've done previously on that stem, but you're not going to do the same thing every round, if that makes sense. Is kind of how I'm envisioning it, just so it's a little bit more organic looking. That's the plan. I'm excited. I hope you're excited too. Not much to show, but hopefully next time I will have a lot more texture to show off. I guess we're starting with small projects and moving into big projects because I have a hat to show you. This is my Drama and Energy hat by Lesley and Robinson, who is a brioche queen, and oh, it's looking so good right now. Yeah, it's just mesmerizing. It's from her new book, Brioche Knitting for Beginners and Beyond. I've got it right here. I got it as a gift from Page 3 Publishing, so I've shared about it on my social media. It has everything from super basics to like some really intricate brioche stitches, not just barks and burps, but lots of things. I'm using some stash yarn, so go me. I'm using Caron X Pantone in the color Purple Mist, and I'm using the Hook Nook Yummy in like a dove. And I think these colors go really well together in their cool tones. So pretty. The textures of both yarns, the textures differ a little bit, but I don't think it detracts from the hat at all. It's been a little bit of a pain to knit with. I don't really enjoy either of these yarns in this capacity. I do think that this is probably better for crochet. It's kind of my hunch. It's got this really pretty halo, you can see, because the Hook Nook Jessica Carey is a crocheter, so I'm wondering if this would be better in a crochet capacity, and I'm knitting with it, so and then this is like really, it looks really tightly wound, but it's really not. They're just really spun on each other, but there's tons and tons of strands. There's, I don't know, like 10 plies in here. It's really easy to split because there's so many strands. It's not too bad, but definitely not my favorite yarn to work with. Not as smooth to knit up, but I am one full repeat on this hat, 16 brioche rows. So to the pattern, I need to do this one more time and then do the first 8 rows one more time. So I'm about, I don't know, is it 30%? And then I'll start decreasing on the crown. I am making some solid progress on this. It is always fun to work brioche, and I've only made one little mistake. I showed it last week, across instead of in the V. But other than that, I feel like I've done pretty well, and it makes me excited to just keep exploring the world of brioche. Last but not least, this was my big fun project to bring with me on our trip to Utah, and I actually didn't get to put as much time in it as I had thought, which is surprising. I'm a little bummed because I would love to have this further along, but I have made some progress. This is the Peekaboo Maxi Skirt by Knititude, all scrunched up on my needles. I'm using Winnie Jo Fiber Co. in the color English Garden. So pretty. So pretty. It's like a peachy, pinky background with all sorts of peach, pink, orange, etc. speckles. I even think I've seen a couple blue speckles on the waistband. Oh, yep. There's a blue speckle. So I'm not far, maybe 4.5 inches, maybe. So I've got a ways to go. I need to do, I think, 20 inches, but I think I also should try it on and see how long it is on me, and how long I would like it. So it's coming along slowly but surely. I really want to wear this summer, so I really gotta put some more time into it, make it more of a priority. I think that now that my shawl is done, like that just took a lot of time, a lot of brain power, lots of frogging. So now that that's done, I can spend more time on fun projects like this. You know what? I really need to put in stitch markers, like progress keepers, so that I can show in the podcast how far I've gotten since the last podcast. So let's do that. I've got all my fun progress keepers. Doop, 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 doo. So yeah, put a couple progress keepers on so I can show better next podcast how far I've gotten, and I think it'll help me also, especially on the projects that just seem like they're dragging, like my skirt, that it'll move things along a little faster. So I think that's all my whips. So let's talk about new Yarnie Goodies. Last podcast, I didn't have any, but I have lots of fun things to show you today. Okay, first I'm going to show you the non-yarn things. Knitty Natty hosts a make-along called Sock Week. It's sometime in July. I can't even remember. I should probably know that. She has a bunch of small businesses that she's partnering with who have specific products for Sock Week, and so I did a little bit of Sock Week shopping because I love supporting Knitty Natty and I love supporting other small businesses and trying new businesses to support and not just sticking with the same people that I already know, because there's lots and lots of people to support out there. One person that I bought from, Lily Ray Crochet Co., who I've talked with on Instagram before. We met in a test for Natalie actually, I think. But she's from where I'm from, up in New York, which is super fun. And so I bought some things from her. She has these stitch stoppers. I needed some more stitch stoppers, so I bought some from her. I bought the mint set. So there's these circles. This one is, man, it's totally blowing out. It's like a marble. Oh yeah, you can see a little bit. It's like marble. And I've got some mint and some gray and a little mint baby shark. I don't want that song stuck in your head, but now it's stuck in mine, so we're all gonna suffer. Do 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 baby shark do 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 do. And then I also bought some wool wash from her. I bought 2 cents. Her house blend and her honeysuckle. This one's a honeysuckle, this one's a house blend. Yummy, yummy. I've always loved honeysuckle. I had a little bit of a mail mishap. It leaked just a little bit, and Danny was really good, and like she even gave me a coupon, and that's not that much that leaked out, but she was so nice. They smell really good, and she even has a program to send back the bottles to recycle them with her so she can reuse them, which I think is a cool idea. I'm really excited. I was running low on my wool wash, and so I wanted to try a new brand, and so I'm excited to try hers once my current wool wash runs out. Another sock week purchase. This is from the Little Wolf Knits, which I'm surprised I haven't bought yarn from her before, but she's got some really interesting speckling on hers. She has a very signature style of dyeing. This is called Up at Dawn and Shark. Ta-da! Catamaran sock set. This is 75-25 BFL nylon base. So I don't think it's superwash. I think it's non-superwash BFL, but I'd have to double check. Even with superwash yarns, I always hand wash them. But yeah, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? The pinks and purples and mauves and yellows. So pretty. Totally the blend of my color palette. All the warm colors, all the purples. So excited about this. I haven't decided if this is what I'm gonna cast on for sock week. Other things are calling to me right now, so I'm not sure. I'm kind of getting pulled in all directions as far as like what socks I want to knit, so I don't know. You'll have to let me know if you think I should wait to cast these on or cast these on as soon as possible. I bought some other sock sets, and these you'll see in the part 2 of my Utah vlog. So I don't think it'll be up when I post this video, but I will try to go back and edit and put it in the description so you can find part 2. You'll see the part of my trip where I go to the local yarn store and also do some visiting with family, and we make an ER visit, so that's not fun. More on that later. But I went to Pinafores and Pearls. Got a cute little stitch marker. It's really hard to see, but with their little logo. And I got 2 sock sets. Both are from local dyers. This is Backcountry Knitter in Texas Sky and Robin Eggs. And then this is Yarnaceous Fibers, which I have followed on Instagram. I did not know about Backcountry Knitter before, but Yarnaceous I have known about. And this is the color La Salle Mountains. Yeah, they're both 85-15 blends, which I've never knit socks in 85-15 blends. So it'll be different to see kind of how it works up, how it feels to knit. So that's kind of fun that they're both that way. But super fun, springy, summery colors. So they're calling to me. They make me really happy. And it's always fun to try out a new local yarn store and to try new dyers. Like I said, I love supporting small businesses, and I also love expanding my reach of what businesses I have purchased from and supported. I'm really happy that I could buy those, and looking forward to working them up sometime soon. Hopefully, if I have time. If you've seen my summer sock camp plans, I've got a lot of plans, so I don't know how much room I'll have to work on other things. We'll see. Last but not least is a sock skein. This is Woolbury Fiber Co., their road trip game. And so this game, you buy a mystery skein of yarn from them. It's this skein. It's not a mystery anymore because they've already announced it as part of their next collection. It's called Coastal. So pretty. That variegation is so pretty. And then they also send 7 postcards of different locations. And you, as the recipient of the game, has to decide which postcard represents where this collection is. Sounds easy, but there's lots of decoys. I thought I had it figured out, and then I noticed a mistake that I had made in trying to figure it out. So now I'm back to square one, and like, is it really as simple as I think it is, or is there something? I don't know. I I have to like spend some more time trying to figure it out, because if you are correct, you're entered into a drawing, into a raffle. You could win a $500 gift card to Woolbury. That is amazing. But I have to be correct in order to do that. So the pressure is on. This is beautiful colorway. I love that variation. It is actually a merino cashmere nylon base, which I also have not worked with. 80-10-10. So that'll be fun to work up. Again, I don't have any plans at the moment. I really wanted to participate in the road trip game, and it is definitely trickier than I thought it would be. We'll see, I guess, what the answer is. I think they're gonna announce it like on the 29th or 30th. So like, I've only got a few days left before I need to send my answer in. Let me know if you have purchased a game and how you're finding the clues. I definitely felt like I like spent a lot of time figuring it out, and I like had my answer, but I didn't feel good about it. And then I realized that my answer might not be my answer. I took it back. I was like, ooh, I don't know about that. I think that's everything. Yeah, that's all my yarn goodies. So let's talk about dreams and plans and what's upcoming. So as far as like dreams and plans and things, I've got quite a few projects. I'm so happy to have my shawl design almost done. Like the shawl is made, the pattern's written. I need to make some changes to some numbers, and so that'll require me to sit down without distraction and with my brain in full gear to like make sure I do that as close to correct as possible, so that my testers can have an easier time working the pattern. I have a little bit of more brain work to do, but it's pretty close to being done. So I have other design ideas on the needle, my red Yucca Socks, but I have other plans and ideas that hopefully will be coming to fruition soon. I've got a couple smaller projects. My socks I'm going to blow through. Hopefully I don't need to make another sock for my brother. Hopefully I'll find that sock. I'm just in the sock making mood, so I think I'll just cast on a bunch of socks. I've got like 2 or 3 needles that are free, so maybe I'll just, you know, go ham. I don't know. I do have a bunch of beautiful summer sock yarns, and I was feeling like I didn't have any, but now I have more. So I might have to cast something on that I recently acquired. I do feel like I need to do more garments. I have my skirt, and I do want to focus on that so I can wear it this summer. So I really need to put some time into it, but I just have a lot of smaller projects on the needles, and I know it's summertime, and so that kind of makes sense. But I do have some summer-y patterns that are on my Make 9 or things that I plan to make, and so maybe I'll cast on something else too. I gotta work on my Find Your Fade, like always. But we'll see. I don't know. I'm set in where I'm at. I think I will cast on a new sock. But other than that, I feel pretty good. I'm really excited about my stripy socks. I am really excited about my skirt, and so I'll be putting some time into that. Getting back in the swing of things. I'm trying to look at my stash and see. Oh, Georgia definitely needs more dresses. She officially grew out of her 18-month dresses, and I have this yarn caked up all ready to go to make a dress for her. So maybe I should just cast that on. I have to check what needles I need. Ooh, that would be a really good idea to cast that on so I could work on the dress for her. She needs dresses, especially like for church and stuff, because she's got lots of t-shirts and shorts for just playing around, but for going to church we would need like a dress or something. So that's a good idea. I would love to cast on a souffle by Penrose Knits for the More Souffle Please knit along that Nicole of Professor Pearl is hosting. So granted, it is 100 degrees today. I am not joking. It's literally 100 degrees today. I don't really want to touch mohair, like, at all. Maybe if it cools down a little bit, then I will just jump on that and cast that on so I can join in on that knit along. Let me know what you're working on right now, and if there's anything that you're just itching to cast on once you get some needles free, or you know, you get the hook available that you need. Let me know, because I love hearing about what upcoming projects you have. Not a ton of like dreams and plans, because I do have a lot going on that is bringing me joy, and just kind of enjoying the moment of where I'm at and taking a little bit of a breather, I think, from like deadlines and things. Let's talk about some life stuff. I haven't really gone into life stuff recently, so let's talk about that. I won't go into too many details because I do have a vlog for our trip to Utah, but I'll just explain a little bit. We went to Utah for my grandfather's memorial. He passed away in March, and so his birthday is June 10th, and so we all got together as a family and we celebrated him and held his memorial then on June 10th. So that was really special that we were able to do that. That is the reason why we went to Utah, was for the memorial. My husband's family is also from Utah. My family is not, but my husband's family is also from Utah, so the fact that we were there meant we could also spend time with them. So we made sure to spend time with them, and we kind of just hopped around between families and areas and did all sorts of things. It didn't feel as much like a vacation because we were there for my grandfather's memorial, but also because we just were moving around a lot, and so we didn't have like chill time. We didn't get to even like watch a movie, just kind of hang out as much as we normally would on a vacation to visit his family. Yeah, not as restful as I think we would have hoped for, but it was really good to spend time with family. Really good to spend time with family. And the fact that we got to see both families in the same trip was really nice. It was also very hot. So hot, in fact, that I thought my daughter got heat exhaustion. She didn't. She just happened to get a fever at the same time that we spent time outside, and I just couldn't cool her down. She stopped eating and drinking, and I was really nervous. I didn't want to wait overnight to see if she would feel better, so I brought her to the ER. In retrospect, like, I should have given her something for the fever, but I read online adamantly Tylenol and ibuprofen are not to treat heat exhaustion, so I was worried that that would like make something worse. The doctor did not seem concerned, so I think if that something like that ever happened again, I would just give her the medicine, see if it helped the fever. If not, then take her in. But it was not a fun time, not super busy in the ER at least, but still takes a while to get processed and take care of her, and she was not feeling good. She was feeling better, and so we were able to go home, which was nice. And surprisingly, she got over her fever really quickly, which we were really grateful for. It was really hard to see her not feeling herself. It was very fast, very quick spike in her fever, and it's just hard as a parent to feel helpless, like you don't know what to do about it to help them feel better. She thankfully was already feeling better within like a day or so, and with like medicine and stuff. Very grateful that we had the privilege to be able to take her in, even though it's not fun and I'm sure we won't enjoy the bill. Grateful that we had healthcare providers close and that she is doing well, and that it was very short-lived, whatever it was. That was not fun. In all, our trip was pretty good. I'm grateful that we went. I'm grateful that Georgia was feeling a lot better really quickly, and that we were able to come home, and that the journey home was a lot shorter than the journey to Utah, because we had to wait in the airport a long time going to Utah. Long time. You'll find out about that in the vlog. It's really cool to see as she's getting older, more of her personality is showing, and even though you can't necessarily reason with a toddler, but she's really easy to work with if you know how to help her understand and navigate the world. So it's really cool helping her navigate the world as she's getting older, and it's awesome seeing what sparks her interest and her joy, and to try to help her find more of that. Today we watched the garbage truck. She loved it. She went berserk. She is a fan of trucks. That was our trip. That was kind of big. I've got a part 2 of the vlog coming really soon, probably on Tuesday is my goal for that. Other than that, we went to the beach the other day. Well, okay, I've been to the beach twice this past week, which is more than usual. We went once to do a photo shoot where we took pictures of my shawl, which was really awesome. We went Friday evening and there was nobody on the beach. It was so peaceful, so nice, and the traffic wasn't bad either. I don't know why no one was going to the beach on Friday. I got lots of photos for my shawl, as well as a couple other photos, like for the brim hat that I made and whatnot, and so that was really nice. I don't know if you can hear my husband. He sounds like he's on the phone with someone at work. So that was really nice that we got to spend some time just doing that little outing Friday. And then Monday was the observance of Juneteenth. And so a lot of my friends had work off that day. And so a bunch of us went to the beach. And that was really fun. I got to go to a new beach that I've never been to before. Super, super fun to just explore a new area. And it wasn't as busy as other beaches I've been to, which is really nice. And it was perfect weather. It ended up being like mid-80s, and so I did get in the water, but it was just perfect for being outside on the beach. Sometimes the beach feels really cold with the wind, and it was just perfect. I did get very burned. Like, my back is so sore. I did put on sunscreen twice while we were there, and we were only there for 3 hours. I clearly don't know how to put on sunscreen. Spending lots of time lotioning up, putting on all of aloe vera, but it was fun. It was totally worth it, and Georgia had a lot of fun. She really loves playing in the sand. She loves anything to do with the water, and she loves people watching, and people tend to bring dogs and stuff to the beach. She loves dogs too, so it's just a good time all around. We don't have anything really coming up in the next couple weeks that I can think of. Like, we don't have any plans for 4th of July or anything. Kind of just flying by the seat of our pants, which in a way is really good to just be relaxed, go with the flow, and kind of see where life takes us. But also, it is nice to plan some things out. We have a trip coming up later on in July, so we should probably get to planning that. But overall, I think it's nice to just kind of be in the moment and just enjoy ourselves, and to find joy in the little things, like our daily evening walks as a family out at the park across the street, hopping in the pool every once in a while. Oh, today might be a really good pool day. All the good things. I know lots of podcasters like to share things that they're reading, and I've been slowly going through. I just very recently read 6 of Crows, and I loved it. It is a young adult novel, but it is very well written. The characters didn't necessarily seem immature to me, but there were definitely moments where I was like, oh yeah, they're definitely teenagers, like older teenagers, right? And so I think that the characterization is really good in shaping these characters who've all been through really hard things and been hardened by life's experiences, but they're still just, 16, 17, 18 years old. I really, really enjoyed the characterization and the writing. I think it was really well written. So I'm reading the second one very slowly because I've just had other things I've wanted to do with deadlines, like with my shawl. So now that I have a little bit more time and breathing room, I do want to spend more time reading. I'm about halfway through the second book, which is called The Crooked Kingdom, I think. I'm not enjoying that as much as the first book. I'm not sure why. I think I just I'm having a hard time getting into it as much because I feel like there was this huge cliffhanger at the end of the first one, and things just haven't been resolved yet, maybe. Maybe that's why. I'm just oh, this is taking so long. But then I leave it in my nightstand, and then it takes even longer because I haven't gotten into it yet. I don't know. I'm not a huge reader of literal books because I like to do audiobooks a lot. I like to have an audiobook going when I'm doing chores around the house, when I'm driving, when I'm on my walks, because I do 1 or 2 walks a day, when I'm knitting or crocheting. Audiobooks are great for me. So a physical copy of a book is harder to navigate. I do have a Kindle that I have used more than a physical book because it's a lot handier and easier while I'm doing other things like knitting, but still, audiobooks are the best. I've just had a hard time finding audiobooks as of late, and so my reading has definitely slowed down lately. But if you have any really good books that you want to recommend, I'm all ears. I read everything. I like self-help books, I like biographies and memoirs, I like historical fiction, especially World War II and 1950s era. For some reason that really calls to me. I really love historical fiction in that sense. I love more modern fiction. I'm just trying to think of more specific genres. I really like science fiction and fantasy. I just like everything. I'm not really a horror person, but I do like a good mystery, and I do like a good thriller, though I've had a hard time finding good thrillers recently. They've just felt very tropey. And I know some people like tropes, and some books I do like tropes, but for some reason thrillers, the tropes are just putting me off a little bit. I like all sorts of books, so definitely leave any recommendations down below because I always want to learn of new books to read. I have some things in my queue before the coffee gets cold for the Books and Beanies make along, because I've got my beanie going. It's not an audiobook from my library, so I have to sit down and read it, so I need to just do it because it's not a long book. So I have that I'm thinking about in conjunction with the Kingdom. So I've got only a couple books. I don't read as many books as projects I have because I don't know, I find it easier to go in and out of projects than in and out of multiple books. So I've just got a couple books that I'm thinking about on my horizon, but yeah, let me know if you have any to recommend to me because I read lots of things, and I kind of feel like I should make a good record of the books that I love so that I can kind of tell people this is the kind of book that I enjoy, so I can get even more wonderful recommendations. Goodreads might be good for that. If you have a Goodreads, let me know. Do you think I should do that? Should I make an account, or is there another platform that would be really good for collecting data of what books I love? Let me know. I should probably close this out. I'm not sure how long this will be once I edit it, but But thank you so much for being here as I've talked about all sorts of things Yarnie, as well as delved into some things more personal. I hope that you enjoyed spending some time with me. I definitely did, and I hope to be able to chat with you down below in the comments. So definitely hit me up there with any questions or comments, anything that you want to share with me, because I just love hearing from you guys. All my links are down below if you need them. Don't forget that my Spilling Wave shawl, the test application, is down below, and it will close on Saturday, so make sure to apply today if you're watching it when it comes out on Friday. If not, then I'm sorry, but you'll have to wait till the pattern comes out in August, which isn't too long. It's not too far away. That's really exciting to look forward to. Thank you so much for being here, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe to this channel to see more content from me, more podcasts like this, as well as other yarn vlogs and yarn instruction type videos. I would love to have you here. Thank you to everyone who has joined in on this journey. It's been really cool to see my subscriber count continue to go up slowly but surely, and I hope that you enjoy being here, and I hope you always feel welcome being here. Until next time, happy making. Bye.